Hello, beautiful people. I have a fun project to do with you guys today, and I thought ahead, and I think I'm going to be able to do the whole thing in one video. I'm going to do a mixed media canvas. What that means is I'm going to do two different types of mediums, I guess you would say. I'm going to be using resin and acrylic pouring techniques. This here is a canvas that I spray painted, and then I put a clear coat of resin on top of it and I let it cure. I'm going to do an acrylic pour on top of that cured resin. Once that is dry, which obviously would take overnight, so I have another canvas set up that I've already done this step to. But once that dries, you're going to pour another coat of resin over it and decorate it with beads, with whatever you want. So this is a really fun project. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've already mixed my paints and my resin because there's a lot to do. So I didn't want to bore you guys with all that. But I will tell you that all my paints are mixed with Liquitex pouring medium, which I do not use all the time. This is in place of the Floetrol. You do not use both. It's either this or the Floetrol. I mean, you can use both, but you'd be wasting a lot of money. $16.99 for 8 ounces of this. It's very expensive, so I don't use it all the time. But for a project like this that I think is going to come out really great, I like to put a couple extra bucks in to do it. Okay, so my paints are mixed with 50% of this and 50% paint. Okay, so equal amounts of each. The colors I'm using are Peacock Pearl, Golden Iridescent Bright Gold, Liquitex Deep Violet. This is an acrylic ink. This is an India ink, which also can be used with a pouring medium, and that's Teal by Dr. Martin's Bombay. I have Folk Art Color Shift Aqua Flash, Crystal Green by Deco Art, Mars Black by Artist Loft, and White by Artist Loft. The resin I will be using is Envirotex. I'm sure that a lot of you know about that. And let's get started. So the first thing, like I told you, that I had spray painted this with a blue, I think it was Sea Glass Blue by Rust-Oleum. I let it dry. I then put a clear coat of resin. It's not a thin coat, it's just a normal average coat of resin, okay? You can see I got a little white here. I'm not worried about it because I'm just gonna pour over that area anyway. So it dried for 24 hours and here we are the next day. So the first thing you wanna do is take your colors and pour them onto the canvas wherever you think you want to have this design. Now the goal is not to cover the whole thing, to have some negative space areas. So over here I have a little divot in the resin, so I know automatically I'm going to want some there. So I'm just going to pour a little tiny bit, okay? Then I'm going to come over here because I have that white spot. And then I'll try over here. And obviously, once you get these the way you want them, if you want to add more, you can. The next one I'm going to do is the Blue Flash, Aqua Flash by Folk Art. And I'm just going to kind of go around in random patterns, trying not to drip it anywhere that I don't want paint, which I am notorious for doing. Alrighty. And then I'm going to put an area down here also, coming out. You don't have to do the colors in the same pattern, although I do like the way the black is blending in with this blue. So I'm going to keep it going in that order. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of green. And you do not need to mix a lot of paints to do this. And if you drip it somewhere that you don't want it, like I just did, it's easy to wipe off because there's resin on there. As long as you get it right away. Slides right off. What I normally do, like, I know I'm going to need something up here, but I'm going to blow these out with the air dryer first to see what kind of patterns I get. And then add from there. And you can see it's just random the way I'm pouring them down. And believe it or not, this will sell without silicone in it. There is no silicone in the paint. And the reason why it will sell is because the different thicknesses, like the inks that I use, are a lot lighter and thinner than the white paint. So that will create cells on its own. Ready? I think I'm going to use some of the, is that aqua? Teal, I'm sorry, by Bombay. Now this I have to be careful of because I have it in a little tiny cup. And it's going to run down the side on me. So I'm going to try to stay away from the inside of that canvas. Ready? The deep violet is next. And the last blue, which I believe was peacock pearl. It's a little dab. Okay, so now I'm going to take the blow dryer and I'm going to move them around a little bit. I'm going to put it on low and hit the cool button to speed it up just a little bit. I do not want to put it on high. Look at that color. And I believe I am going to leave that alone. I got some amazing colors. The only thing I'm worried about is this area here. I hope that they don't connect but if they do, that's my bad. Let me try to maybe move it a tiny bit right there. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, so I hope you guys can see all these beautiful cells that were created without using silicone. I mean, they're kind of crazy. Just got a few little things in here I want to get out. I'm going to zoom you in so hopefully you can see them. Let me take you out of the tripod. Okay, please excuse the light. So you can see all the wonderful things going on in there. Colors just look really good together. So as you can see, you don't need to use silicone to get cells. Okay, so here we are on step 2. Now we're going to pretend that this canvas is a canvas that you just saw me make, and it's all dry. This was one I did yesterday, so that we can go through the whole process in one video. So basically, again, all I did was spray paint the back, put a layer of resin, put down the paints, and now I'm going to put a clear layer of resin and decorate the area. So as I told you earlier, I have my resin all mixed up. Excuse me. And we're just going to pour it right on. So I'm going to go around the edges. And because I mixed my paints with pouring medium and not Floetrol, they cure really quick. Pouring medium dries fast. I had this idea a while ago. I actually have a video about a bling bling canvas that I made. But I had this idea a while ago because I used to make jewelry and I have millions and millions of beads. So I said, why not incorporate them into artwork? I'm like a lot of you where I've done every single craft there is. Well, not every single, but a lot of crafting. From soap making, jewelry making, you name it. So I have a lot of supplies and I always try to come up with ways to incorporate them together. So what I'm doing here is just spreading out the resin, giving this canvas a nice thick coat. Make sure I get the sides good. All the painted areas. What I'll do is just kind of push the resin up to the edge and let it go over. If you're very careful, you can do this. Like I didn't clean up from the last pour, so I'm being ultra careful not to get my fingers in that. But you probably should clean up first. Then again, if you're doing this in steps, chances are that your work area is going to be clean before you start the next step. So I'm just going over the edges. Just running my hand along it, making sure I feel resin everywhere. And you know, this step, don't forget there's already a coat of resin on there, so you really want to be cautious and make sure you get it good. Just pushing a little bit over. I got a lot on the canvas, so I could afford to do that. I mixed, this is a 12 by 16, and I mixed 6 ounces of resin. Whatever art resin tells me to make, I always make 1 or 2 ounces more, because I want to make sure I have enough. All right, so that should be good. I'm going to take off my gloves, and I'm just going to pop the bubbles quick. My torch is ready to run out at any time. I'm hoping it lasts. And of course, you could always go back and revisit the air bubble situation. This is where this light, this bright light above me becomes my friend, because if I stand to the side, I can see if there's any imperfections or a hair or anything in there. Like I can see there's a bunch of air bubbles right here. Over there was something. All right. This layer, you want to make sure that it is like absolutely perfect. Okay. So, next step. Deciding what beads you want to put on there. Beads, stones, all kinds of things. I'm going to pull out a few things that I have here that I had separated. That I will show you. Now obviously I'm not going to bore you with the putting down all the beads on camera. I'm just going to do a few to show you. But a lot of these that I have are natural gemstones. Natural stones that may look pretty cool going around the edge. Some of those. See, I have a whole bag full of stuff here. I just picked out some colors of things that I had. These are some agates. Really, you could put rocks in there. Smaller ones. I have these little crystal things that might look nice. Little sparkly. The possibilities are endless. So now I have to decide which ones that I like. I've also got shells. I believe these are some kind of pearl. Not valuable, obviously, or else I wouldn't have them. But something bright up against that would look nice. Yes. So, let me get my beads out and I will be right back. Okay, so I've decided on which beads I'm going to go with. I'm going to use these little pretty shells. These bigger gold pearls. These little, I think they're stone beads. A smaller set of pearls. And then the little blue gemstones. I figured they all match what's on the canvas, so they should work. What I'm going to do is put them in a cup so I don't have to fiddle around with them. And I'm just doing that over to the side here. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to do one so you can see. So I'm going to take a little shell. I'm going to try not to put my fingers in this. I'm going to put it right there in the resin. Take one of these bigger little pearls. Another one there. A couple of little beads. And then just follow the pattern. So now we'll do another shell. And you can move the beads around so that the holes are not pointing upwards, kind of hide them. You could also obviously do this with rocks. The shells you would have to obviously have the hole on top because that's where they are. And you kind of just go with the flow. The other ones I'll probably mix up a little bit, the pattern. But it's basically what you want. That's all. Have fun with it. Don't stress. You know what I say to myself? If it comes out like crap, it'll just be another piece of art for my wall. That's all. All right, and then I'm going to end off right there. Like that. Now, once you get them all on, you should probably go around torch, because you can even see right here I have an air bubble. This will create air bubbles. Go around torch. Another tip I can give you, if you want, sit a few minutes and let the resin get a little thicker and then start putting them in. For time's sake, I didn't want to do that to you guys and make you sit there. So, that's it. I will I will post a picture of this on Facebook when it is done. Let me take you in for a close-up. Here we are. I could see already this might have to move up a little bit. Sometimes they slide off. So that's why I said maybe just wait, 5 minutes, let the resin start thickening up a little bit. But I think it's pretty cute. Let me know what you guys think. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys all have a nice day. Leave a comment if you have a question or just want to leave a comment. And as always, till next time, happy pouring.